The new McCrispy Strip is here. Dip approved by ketchup, tangy barbecue, honey mustard, Sprite, McFlurry, Big Mac sauce, double dipped in buffalo and ranch, more ranch, and creamy chili McCrispy Strip Dip. Now at McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of Behind the Mic, powered by the REVOLT Podcast Network. I'm your host, Wise Grisette, RPN Community Manager, and of course, y'all know it, podcast enthusiast. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at REVOLT Podcast Network, and visit listen.revolt.tv to learn more about our amazing podcast library. Now, today, I have a friend and guest on the episode. This guest, of course, as you all know, has a podcast on the podcast network called Reasonings with Odessa. Now, I do have Odessa here with me. Please introduce yourself to our audience. Odessa, thank you so much for coming on today.
Well, you know, I start my podcast always with sound the big things. So, hey, everybody, my name's Odessa of Reasonings with Odessa podcast. This podcast is really mainly about building bridges between the Caribbean and African diaspora, which is something that's really, really what is my passion. You know, a lot of the times we don't really have as much conversations that are with us as people from the Caribbean and those that are on the continent in Africa and other spaces as well. Obviously, you can hear I have a British accent. So I was born and bred in London and I moved to Jamaica. And it's just always been my thing of being a Pan-African and also just wanting to explore conversations. You know, we say a reasoning when we are dialectal reasoning, like a one talk, it's a conversation. We do it with drinks, we do it over food. It's fun, it's energy, and that's basically what you get with reasonings. You also get a little bit of what's going on in the region, in Jamaica, UK, where I'm from as well, and certain parts of where the Caribbean and African diaspora are in the United States as well.
For those that don't know, I'm a Bajan Yankee. Not a fond of the term, but it is what it is. Repping New York and Barbados at all times. So the 718 to the 246. So, you know, I was really excited when I saw your podcast on the podcast network because I just automatically understood one of those if you know, you know type things. So incredibly happy and excited to be able to chat with you today. So tell us a little bit about the person behind the mic, behind the podcast.
I was in London. And I decided to move to Jamaica. But while I'm in London, I always wanted to get into entertainment. So I worked with radio and media, Choice FM Radio in London, which was the first Black-owned radio station in London. And then I decided to say, I'm going to move to Jamaica. And this has always been something that I've always wanted to do. It's been my dream. And I just said, you know what, everybody, bye. 21, left. Said, Dad, I've got the front door key. Either you're going to change the lock or what? And then I just came. And Chris Blackwell was setting up his label, Island Jamaica Records. I applied for the job. I got the gig and Bob's Your Uncle. And then while I was doing that, I also started working in media again, hosting and interviewing for a show called Entertainment Report. So I kind of got into the mix of meeting all who you need to know in the reggae business, as well as a little secret. Well, it's not a little secret. It became a big secret. It became a big thing afterwards that my dad is Jimmy Cliff. He is, you know, reggae legend. So it opened up a few more doors for me. But I am a television producer, film producer, podcaster, as you can see, and I'm also marketing, they call it guru as well. So I do a lot.
Okay, so you do a lot. That means a lot of people are looking to you for like advice and stuff like that. So, you know, that could be a lot of pressure. Now, who do you go to for advice when life and work and all those things get tough?
I talk a lot to my mom and my dad. I have like a really good circle of friends that I can, you know, just reach out to. Rum is amazing as well. Rum is my best friend. What are you joking?
But drop one rum brand that you gotta have in your cupboard.
Oh, obviously I've got a big up Appleton and Ray Nephew White Rum
Okay.
because I'm Jamaican. But also for you, because I'm talking to you, I've got a big up Mount Gay, and that was
All right.
yeah. And Barbados actually does make the best rum, so apparently.
Oldest rum distillery in the world.
Yes, it is. So friends, family, and ancestors. I'm a bit spiritual as well, so I like to, just kind of channel my spirituality and talk to my ancestors as well. And I'm very blessed that they guide me as well.
What's a family tradition or value that you carry with you?
I have parents who are very honest and very loyal. And one thing that they've always taught me is to be true to myself and to honor myself and honor my ancestors as well. So just being authentically me is something that I think I have channeled and what I use from family.
That's incredible. That's incredible. A lot of people, they develop that sense of persona later on in life because sometimes like their family kind of puts them in a box and doesn't allow that creativity to, thrive and kind of go a little crazy. So I'm glad you were able to foster that. Okay, so before we move on to our game, because we do have a game, what's one thing you want people to know about you that they wouldn't get from listening to your podcast?
That's really weird because I'm an open book. So what you see is what you really get. Like if you see me on social media and you meet me in person, it's the same person. My podcast is really authentically me. When you listen to it, it's me. It's no airs, no graces, no hidden nothing. I don't know. Like, you know what, Wise? I'm the same Odessa. I'm the same person that you talk to on the phone, that when people meet me and they follow me on social media, they're like, oh my God, you're the same person. And I'm like, yeah, there's no difference. So what you'll get from Reasonings is the same Odessa. I don't think you're going to get anything different, to be honest.
That is so interesting that you said that because the interview before you, Brian, said the exact same thing. There's a technical term called WYSIWYG. What you see is what you get. And I'm so happy to know that when people listen to your podcast, what they see or hear, for those being technical, is what they get. That's incredible to hear. So first off, again, y'all need to take this moment. It's going to be in the episode description, but take this moment and go and subscribe to Reasonings. Now, again, you could just search REVOLT Podcast Network, look at the podcast on there, choose Reasons with Odessa. But of course, obviously, you can just search for that on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all the places where you listen to your podcast. All right, so the game that we are going to play today is called Would You Rather. Now, these games are only 30 seconds long, so it is a little bit of rapid fire. Are you ready for a rapid fire game?
I'm ready. Ready up.
You're ready. All right, so we are starting in 3, 2, 1. Would you rather headline Coachella or have a feature on a number one hit?
I would rather headline Coachella.
Would you rather collaborate with your favorite producer or favorite rapper?
Favorite producer.
Would you rather host the BET Awards or REVOLT World in Atlanta?
Oh, I would actually rather host REVOLT World in Atlanta. Come on.
And we're all done. That was easy and fun. Okay.
Yes, it was.
Okay.
Yes, it was.
We're going to have to talk to all the programming and let them know that we need to have Odessa hosting a stage at REVOLT World 2025. Let's make that happen.
That's going to happen.
Okay. Well, first off, Odessa, thank you so much for joining the podcast. Now, I know that you are very, very active on social media. So please share with the audience where they can find you, particularly on Twitter.
Oh, I tweet a lot. Yeah, I do, right? Okay, on Twitter, for me personally, it's at Odessa. I bless you with my presence, all right? On TikTok, it's Odessa. I'm very random on TikTok. It's not serious for me. Instagram, Odessa as well. And Instagram, follow Reasonings with Odessa, and follow us on TikTok as well, Reasonings with Odessa.
Thank you so much, Odessa. We've had plenty of conversations. It feels really good to have my island peoples on the REVOLT Podcast Network. I'm definitely looking forward to building out that aspect of REVOLT Podcast Network even more with your help.
And I would just like to say thank you and big up to REVOLT. I'm happy to be the first Caribbean podcaster on REVOLT. And to me, that's a big deal. And I honor that a lot. And I'm just happy that REVOLT can share Caribbean and African diaspora stories as well, because it's really about all of us becoming one people, because we are one people.
Amen to that. All right, y'all. This is another episode of Behind the Mic, powered by REVOLT Podcast Network. It's your host, Wise Grisette, and I'll see you next time. Peace.
The new McCrispy Strip is here. Dip approved by ketchup, tangy barbecue, honey mustard, Sprite, McFlurry, Big Mac sauce, double dipped in buffalo and ranch, more ranch, and creamy chili McCrispy Strip Dip. Now at McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.